Hello, I'm Claudia, and I will be presenting the work we did together with Corina at Lancaster University on Body Matters, an exploration of the human body as a resource for the design of technologies for meditation. Our motivations for this work stem from our interest in meditation. Its regular practice has shown benefits for mental and physical well-being. Nevertheless, learning to meditate can be challenging. This has motivated the design of a growing number of interactive systems to facilitate its practice. Most HCI technologies use biofeedback to provide personalized guidance. However, our understanding of how to leverage the body in these technologies as an active ingredient to support meditation is still limited. These systems also tend to use audiovisual feedback. Other modalities, such as haptics or olfactory interfaces, are being little explored in this context. The feedback is also continuously provided throughout the practice, although in traditional guided meditation, the teacher would normally only say a few words every couple of minutes. Can we think of new designs in HCI that provide different types of feedback to better support meditation practices? In the work we present today, we aim to delve into these challenges by exploring the lived experience of meditation with expert meditators. In particular, we aim to identify the key stages that may occur during meditation and whether they have specific bodily sensations. In what way could these bodily sensations inform the design of novel technologies to better support meditation? And finally, the opportunities and challenges of using technology to facilitate meditation. A total of 24 experts participated in our study, coming from different meditation traditions. We conducted 10 workshops that lasted around 2 hours, with 2 to 5 participants at a time. The workshops followed the research through design methodology, particularly inspired by magic machines, which facilitated the expression of personal experiences through an embodied process of making. At the start of the workshop, we asked participants to reflect on the way their body feels while meditating. Is it the same when they are being mindful compared to when their mind wanders? Where in the body do they feel these sensations? To facilitate exploring and communicating their lived experience of meditation, we asked participants to individually build a magic machine that would recreate the way in which their body feels while they are meditating. To build them, we provided a curated selection of non-technological materials such as cardboard, clips, or cotton to elicit tactile experiences. Once the object was built, each participant was encouraged to present it to the group, and then we asked questions regarding its functionality, the context of use, and the type of feedback. At the end of the workshop, we interviewed each participant to better understand their personal experience with meditation and their views regarding meditation technologies. I will now illustrate our findings with some of the magic machines built during the workshops. For example, here we can see the magic machine by participant 1, who represented the different stages she experiences in meditation with different materials moving up and down a string. The top empty space represents being mindful, but, as she said, it's actually quite difficult to get up here. She described her meditation as a stepped-up experience in which the softer, more relaxed sensations move up here, and the more physical, more hard go down. But these steps are not static, as she described while moving the materials around the vertical line. We shift all the time when we experience meditation. It is like a journey in which you move in and out of these experiences. We found that most participants describe their meditation practice as a journey, like described in this quote by participant 5. I start my journey here, pointing at the scrunched up paper on the left, and the little wooden pegs are kind of where my mind wanders, so hiccups along the way. But then, I have really positive experiences in my meditation as well, where actually it feels all nice and fluffy, pointing at the cotton balls encircled by wool. So here we can see the main meditation stages that we identified. The stage of grounding usually occurs at the beginning of the session to relax the body. Then, the stage of becoming mindful usually occurs before actually achieving the goal, which is being mindful. Finally, dismissible and distracting thoughts may appear in the stage of mind wandering. I'd like to emphasize that this is just an example, and all participants explain how the order of appearance of these stages varies depending on the meditation session. Here we can see a summary of the material and bodily qualities used to describe each meditation stage. We found very interesting that although participants came from different meditation traditions, they described the same stages with similar qualities. For example, grounding was described as a feeling of sinking down that is mostly felt on the upper body and generates a rhythm through slow and controlled deep breaths. Becoming mindful was exemplified with very soft materials and described as going upwards, with a tingling sensation that may appear in the hands and the head. Finally, being mindful was described as being in balance, and the bodily sensations were very subtle, mainly on the crown and the hands. When mind-wandering moments occur, the mind gets distracted, hence participants emphasize how they are not aware of their body. However, dismissible thoughts feel sharp, whereas distracting thoughts feel very heavy. We found this to be a key contribution that can be used to rethink the way in which guidance is provided in interactive meditation systems. We could think of recreating bodily sensations from another stage to encourage the person to move towards that stage. For example, when dismissible thoughts occur, the system could gently recreate sensations of being mindful on the body to facilitate getting back to that mindful state. Regarding the use of technologies for meditation, we identified 5 concepts that were imperative for our participants. The first is intent, as depending on the goals and expertise of the person, the way in which the system could better support their practice may change. For instance, we found that experts would like systems that mirror their current state, whereas they found that for novices, the technology should better provide attention regulation strategies. The second is the form of the technology. Most participants describe the use of tangible artifacts to encourage more tactile and embodied interactions, while still allowing to naturally experience their surroundings during meditation. The third concept that was highly emphasized was the tempo of the feedback provided. They described how beneficial it may be to provide feedback on the right time, but also how important it is not to provide any feedback during others. We will describe this a bit more in the next slide. Then is the concept of adaptivity, as in technology can provide meditation practices tailored to one's subjective experiences, by, for instance, using haptic feedback to recreate subjective bodily sensations instead of generic outputs to guide the meditation session. And finally is control, as meditation is a personal and agentic practice, and although the technology may provide feedback based on one's performance, participants highlighted how they do not want to feel like the system is dictating their experience. Based on these 5 concepts, we imagined in what way interactive systems could best provide feedback to support meditation. From the concept of meditation being a dynamic journey, we came up with the idea of providing cyclic patterns, such as the ones shown here. We envisioned that different patterns would better support different design goals. For instance, pattern A represents a continuous feedback that is provided throughout the meditation session, as most current meditation systems in HCI do. We suggest this pattern would be beneficial when integrated into the design of the grounding stage, as it could provide real-time targeted feedback to relax specific parts of the body before the actual starting of the session. Then, pattern B could be used for novices, as it provides a smooth transition between periods with and without feedback. This is similar to the transitions designed to adjust the level of difficulty or support in reinforcement learning systems. Pattern C, which represents a way for providing feedback in a binary fashion similar to notifications on the phone, could be envisioned to be only activated when the user has drifted completely into mind wandering. Then, the system could recreate mindful bodily sensations to facilitate going back to a mindfulness state. Finally, as a person becomes more experienced with meditation, the system may start providing the feedback based on their performance over small windows of time rather than in real time, as shown in pattern D. Recreating the cyclic yet generic feedback patterns of traditional guided meditation may allow users to be less reliant on the system and to better develop the ability to self-regulate their attention without the technology. We would like to thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.